Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Yeah, like to check you're wearing sunscreen before heading out on a sunny day.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. This content is intended for audiences in the U.S. only. Savings vary, terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Dear listeners, we have a couple of very exciting announcements as we head into this handsome Hollybob season.
Number one, we now have cozy, handsome sweatpants and, oh my God, we have handsome pahnties for sale at our merch store.
Secondly, we're having our first ever sale. So head over to handsomepod.com, get your sweatpants, get your pahnties, and get yourself a deal. That's handsomepod.com.
This is a headgum
video.
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Pretty little episode.
Shocks me every time. I don't know why I can't get used to pretty little episodes.
I think because it's new and exciting still.
But is it new? We are months in, right?
Ish.
I mean, okay.
I think what you meant to say is, welcome to the pretty little episode.
That is exactly what I meant to say, Fortune Marie. It's me and you, kid.
That's right. It's me, Fortune Feimster, and Tig Notaro.
Tig Notaro. It's actually Notaro.
Notaro.
Yeah, absolutely no taros.
Notaro. It's not Notaro?
No. Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
I mean, for 53 years.
Tig Notaro.
Yeah.
Tig Notaro. I think it's my southern accent is just automatically going to give it a sound.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
So even though you've told me this, I think you've told me this before.
I think I tell you every day.
Nah.
I say Notaro and you go, nah.
Nah, Taro.
No, you just say nah.
Nah. Nah.
Nah.
Oh, well, it's good to see you, bud.
Good to see you as well. I'm just getting over a little bit of a sickness.
It's going around.
Yeah, sicknesses go around. They do.
Yeah. Well, it's that time of year, where people
'tis
start
the season.
coughing on each other.
Yeah, I don't even know why I try and trace back to where did I get this? Who was I sitting next to? Does it matter? Am I going to call them? Am I going to call the airline? Am I going to
blame someone?
Yeah. But how are you feeling?
I'm pretty good. We are home for a bit, which I'm really enjoying. December 3rd, my Netflix special will be out, so I will be headed to New York City to promote that. So I guess I'm not technically home, but I'm home, but I'm not filming away for a while.
Yes. I know. It's like telling people, yeah, I'm off right now. And then they know that you just went out of town for a show or you're recording a podcast. And they're like, I thought you said you were off. And it's like, well, as far as my life goes, this is pretty off.
It's pretty off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back into theaters until April. Beginning of April, I'll be doing some club dates to prep my new hour. So this right now, prepping new hour and promoting a special is my time off. And filming Handsome and taping my radio show, that's time off.
Real relaxing time.
But writing a new hour is, as you know, daunting.
I'm right in the middle of it.
I just I always think I'm never going to have any more to say.
I know. Same.
I just am like...
Same, meaning I think that about you. I'm like, Fortune is not going to have anything else to say.
See, at least on our Handsome Pod, we're always being asked questions, which I love. I love it when our listeners ask questions, when our friends ask questions. You're very good about asking me questions. I like that.
I'm good at asking you questions. Look, I just asked you one.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? I mean,
May's
you're saying I'm better
too.
You're saying I'm better than May. Especially since May isn't here right now. We can go ahead and...
We're all equally handsome in our skill sets.
But you feel like I specifically am good at asking you questions?
You're good about saying, tell me more about, you're like, because I'll say something off the cuff for like, I'll mention a little something and you'll be like, well, why is that? Or
yeah,
well,
go
tell
back.
me about
I don't
that.
understand what that was.
Yeah. And that forces me to be like, oh, well, let me think about what that was.
Yeah, look at
So,
that.
thanks,
Even in
pal.
on your time off.
Yeah, why not?
This is really, you're not having any time off. You're doing your radio show, podcasting, working on a new hour, and thinking.
That's right. And treading water.
Still.
Yeah.
Fortune.
I know.
Marie. That's
Fortune Marie.
I have questions.
Okay.
Are you still listening to podcasts when you do it?
I am. It just helps.
Yeah, I was going to say, and does it feel like it flies by, or do you find yourself treading going, okay, how much longer? Okay, how much longer?
When I'm like just being lazy, I have a little bit of that. But if I'm just letting myself go, I'll just be in the moment listening and treading and not worried about the time.
I've heard some people get in touch with us and me directly that they've started treading as well. I don't know if people have told you that, but
that's awesome. Well, you're the originator of it, so you would be the one to tell.
I invented treading. Yeah, but you've really taken it on, which is, I'm very jealous. You know, I'm up in Toronto and I'm not able to do my regular treads.
Yeah.
There's a gym in my building, so I'm doing stationary cycling and elliptical stuff and lifting some weights here and there, trying to keep my body moving.
That's great.
Yeah, but I do love a tread.
A tread's fun. It's easier in the summer when it's warm. It does get a little, like I have to prep more.
Did I tell you about treading in the cold without heating the pool?
I don't know if you did.
Okay, I did that with a friend of mine, Kit, who lives in my neighborhood. And we did that in his pool. And I didn't think I was going to last.
Yeah.
And it was, you know how people do cold plunge?
Oh, yeah. That seems hard.
Okay. Have you done that before?
I have not.
Okay. I don't cold plunge regularly. I've done it one time. And then the closest to that I ever did was get into Kit's pool that was really cold. And we treaded for an hour. And I'm telling you, it was a situation.
Yeah.
However, I feel like I got a very similar experience that people that cold plunge got, because I got out of that pool feeling even better than regular treading.
Wow.
And my mental state was through the roof. I felt like I could do anything in the world when I got out of that pool. That cold pool.
Yeah.
Treading. I'm telling you.
Such a long time. People polar plunge, whatever it's called, an ice plunge for like 3 minutes.
I know. And this wasn't a polar plunge by any stretch, you know.
It was just chilly.
It was probably in the 60s, the pool.
Which is cold, because I heat this puppy to 89, baby.
Yeah, it was cold, but I'm telling you.
I don't want to freeze my cooter off.
Oh, Fortune Marie. I think you should freeze it off so you'll stop talking about it. Anyway, I'm very interested to try that again.
Yeah.
And I challenge any of our listeners that are treading to do it in a cold pool and tell me if your body doesn't feel exhilarated and your mind. Oh my God.
You tell Tig that and tell me how your cooter feels.
we all have our different interests.
Let's get to our handsome listener questions, baby.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, handsome. My name is Frankie. I'm a handsome lady from Brooklyn. And my question for you is there an outfit in your closet that every time you wear it, you are really feeling yourself? It's a pretty great outfit. And if so, tell me about it.
Gosh, that's so interesting. Do you have anything off the top of your head?
Well, the first thing that came to mind is not something that I've only worn it since I brought it up on my special. I had it made for my special, and it is a pink suit.
Hello.
And I had it tailored. It was made custom for this pretty little lady's body.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, when I wore it, I was feeling myself.
How many times have you worn it?
Just then.
And so you've only really felt
I
yourself
only felt myself
once.
once, but I have a feeling that I'm going to break it back out to maybe like dance in it or something for a video.
I'm sorry. Dance in it for like, are you releasing an hour or a song? I mean,
Tig, hashtag content.
Okay.
The special's coming out. People are going to be like, look at that handsome pink suit. We're going to need to see you dance in it. But yeah, I will say any suit actually, and again, handsome has made me reappreciate the suits. I have a couple suits that I wear that I think those are the things that where I'm feeling myself a little bit more when I'm in those.
You know, this isn't like something that's really in my closet or wardrobe, but it technically is because I wore it in a movie and I was given this. And so it's in my closet.
Yeah.
And I've worn it a few times. And I love it. Is like this just total grease monkey, these coverall jumpsuit from the Army of the Dead movie.
Oh, I was wondering if it was from that.
Yeah. So I love it. It kind of makes me feel like a child too, because it's just like a onesie. You just get it in it and zip up. And I always love that feeling of feeling like I'm a child. Like my body feels like a child sometimes. I remember I had that when I had a double mastectomy. Right after, I was like, this is hilarious. I look like I'm 8, you know? But I think that those kind of things that make me feel like a kid.
Yeah.
Is what feels good to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you look good in it. I've seen the pics.
Yeah, well, I'm taking Fortune. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like to check your teeth for food before getting on an important video call.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. This content is intended for audiences in the U.S. only. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. So, let's hear Frankie's answer, shall we?
My answer to this question is that I have a navy blue linen jumpsuit that I bought a few years ago in Paris. And when I bought it, I worried that it might be the kind of thing that you try on in Paris and you think you can pull it off, but then you get home and you realize that you're not Parisian. But it turns out I can pull it off. And every time I wear it, I feel pretty cool. I feel about 3 inches taller. And so, I look forward to wearing it. Thanks for making every week a little bit more handsome.
Of course. Well, I'm glad it worked out for her purchase, because that did remind me that, and maybe Paris just has this effect on people. Jax likes to go into the frou-frou stores in Paris, and I went with her, and it's not obviously my vibe. It's somewhere I feel very out of place. But there was this pair of suede boots, and I'm not a suede boot gal. And I was like, I can rock those suede boots, I think. And they weren't cheap, and I bought them, and they are in the box in which I bought them 1 year ago. I've not worn them once.
That is hilarious.
So I think I gotta rock a suede boot somewhere.
I love those pieces that people buy in a particular place. You know, I feel like that happens also in Hawaii, where you're like, oh, I'll wear this shirt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll for sure. This is just how I am now.
Yeah.
I'm going to head home with my brand new personality and wardrobe.
Oh, yeah. It happened to me in Italy. I bought the tiny pants, the tiny short pants. I was like, because they wear those little pants.
You should wear those with your suede boots.
They wear those little pants that are short, where you wear loafers with them.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, this is a new me.
Hello.
And
Could you see your cooter?
Yeah. Well, I went through my closet like a month ago, and I was like, let me try on these tiny pants to see what we're working with. And Jack started laughing, and it was like, oh, why did I think I could wear tiny pants?
How tiny are these tiny pants?
They're tiny, like, they're just like thinner, and they go like, they don't cover, they end before your ankle. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's why you wear a shoe with no sock with them.
Okay.
Which is very Italian.
Yeah.
It ain't me.
Oh,
Notaro.
It is so fun. But I have to say, Stephanie kind of became that. She becomes that when she goes to Colorado.
Yeah.
She bought a cowboy hat. She braids her hair. She does all of that stuff as soon as she hits the mountains. And I asked her recently, I was like, and she does not like turquoise. And I asked her, I was like,
how dare she?
I know. I was like, should I just go ahead and start buying you turquoise jewelry? And she was like, what do you mean? And I said, well, you're already like wearing a cowboy hat and braided pigtails. Might as well get you some turquoise. But
that's funny.
She says no so far. But that is really a fun thing when people buy outside of their world and then come home and go, oh.
Yeah. What was I thinking?
Yeah. All right. Do we have another question?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Hey, Handsome Pod. My name is Crystal, and I am from Goleta, California. My question is about humor incompatibility. So whenever I meet someone new, I usually try to get them to laugh, and sometimes they're not receptive to my humor. And I panic, and I don't know what to do. So I'm curious to know, what do you all do when you meet someone and you're just not matching on the same type of humor or similar humor? You just can't make them laugh.
Oh, that's never happened to me.
Oh, I've seen you bomb socially and professionally.
It's true.
It's interesting. I think people that aren't easy to make laugh right away, I'm drawn to them.
That's so funny because I'm like, not my person.
Yeah, and they might not be my person, but like I am drawn to them. I'm so curious about them. I'm so curious what does make them laugh. Yeah. And I think that if you try really hard to make people laugh when they're not laughing, that's likely not going to go anywhere. And you'll probably get less and less funny to them. But
or annoying.
But also there have been people that I haven't understood their sense of humor, and they haven't understood mine. And then we hit this sweet spot where it's like, oh, I get you now. Yeah. And then it becomes this really exciting. This happened to me on a job recently with an actress where I was like, I've never met anybody like that. I don't really understand you. And it wasn't bad. It was just more of like, this is an alien to me.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely, I was like, I get you.
Yeah.
And I could tell she got me. And we've been friendly ever since. But yeah, of course, it's so fun when you just hit the jackpot with somebody and you're off and running and you're like, oh my God, this is my new best friend. Yeah. I just think there's something so fun to both of those things.
Yeah, when you find that chemistry.
Yeah.
I think when I first met you, it took me a minute to realize when you were joking and when you weren't, because you were so dry at times.
I've heard that before.
And so at first I would be like, wait, I can't tell if this is a joke or not. But then once I got you and your humor, it was so funny to me.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been taken the wrong way many times, and I don't mean to be.
Right. Well, just your delivery is so deadpan sometimes.
Most times,
you're like, wait, Wait, what? I think that was that a joke?
Well, sometimes people say to me, like, I don't know if you're joking right now or not. And I always say, I don't either. I have no clue.
I would say with the people that are harder to make laugh, I don't really try to crack that nut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, oh, Janice has a real stick up her ass.
It's always Janice.
It's just Janice.
Every time it's Janice.
Janice is a tough nut to crack, and
Janice,
I don't
you need
crack
to
her.
relax.
I know. So I think I don't usually push too much. I just kind of go, I clock it of like, oh, okay, I'm not for Janice.
Yeah.
And kind of move on.
It's always funny when I say it's always funny, but it is when you're being funny and people are just answering directly, straightforward, no hint. There's nothing registering with them that there's anything funny going on.
Yeah.
And that is always very amusing to me. Where I'm like, wow, I would have to stop right now and be like, this is, and of course we just talked about how you didn't know either, but the only like people that even if they really tried to figure out, they just think this is a serious, straight conversation. And I would have to flag that it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that if there is a person that I've met who I didn't make laugh and we kind of we still were around each other's, like say it was on set or somewhere.
Yeah.
And then in time, I did then make them laugh.
Yeah.
There is such a victory in that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Where you you weren't necessarily trying to, but it happened. You're like, yes.
Yeah. That's what I was saying about that actress. It was like, she almost felt like an alien.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, I love that feeling of feeling like somebody's an alien and
Really?
not understanding their personality.
Yeah.
And really feeling like I have never met a person on this planet like you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That isn't as exciting to me. I'm more of just like, I'm not their cup of tea.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, you want to hear Crystal's answer?
I sure would.
I wonder if her last name is Clear.
Crystal clear.
Yeah.
For me, again, I think that's why I'm looking for some answers, but usually, again, I panic. But then I think I go into a mode of either trying harder to make them laugh by trying out different jokes, which still doesn't work. And then I just go into asking questions about them. And I guess that's a healthier response rather than boosting my own ego. But yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, thanks, Crystal.
Crystal
Your
clear.
answer is clear.
Yes, yes.
We heard you loud and
Crystal.
clear.
That's right.
Do you know who wanted to say hi?
Does he have two eyes?
Maybe.
Does he have a cooter?
Nope.
I don't know. Who is it? Oh, Biggie.
Look at him.
So cute. Go to YouTube right now. Go to YouTube right now. Biggie's naked. I can see Biggie's private part.
How dare you?
Well, you're the one that showed it to me.
He's a modest boy taking a little nappy poo.
You said he wanted to say hi, so I thought he was awake. He
Say
really
hey.
looks like a mix between you and Jax.
Doesn't he?
Yes.
I think he looks a lot like me. Oh, what happened? He's like, bitch, don't wake me up. You want to say hi to Tig? Oh, he's sleeping.
Oh, Biggie.
Isn't that the most
Biggie
beautiful
boo.
boy? Anyway, sorry, handsome listeners.
Go to YouTube right now.
Well, this was fun. I always love hearing from our pretty little listeners.
I love hearing their voices too, not just their questions. They're I immediately conjure up exactly what they look like, what they're wearing,
Do
who
they
they
have
are.
pahnties on?
Well,
You
of
don't think of
course.
that?
Well, cooters, pahnties, that's your department.
I like it when they tell us where they're from.
Yeah. Please keep sending your questions in. We love answering them.
Yeah.
And anything else before we go here?
Just that we love you. Kisses on your mouth. Mwah.
Kisses on your mouth.
Get your handsome merch. Get a hoodie. Get a ghost
hat
tee that can last throughout the year.
Sure can.
Stickers.
Those last all through the year too.
Those sure do.
Yeah, you don't have to rip those off.
And keep sending us questions, and don't forget to listen to us next week when all three of us are reunited, and it feels so good.
And tell your friends, share episodes, and rate and review us.
That's right. Until then, keep it pretty handsome.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like to check the expiration date on your soy milk before taking a big swig.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. This content is intended for audiences in the U.S. only. Savings vary, terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.